Hello and welcome into this week's ARCA Series Rewind show right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host, Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. On today's ARCA Rewind, we're looking back at the rain-delayed Music City 200 that ended up running Sunday afternoon instead of Saturday night this weekend. 200 laps, 119.2 miles around the .596 mile Fairgrounds Speedway Nashville in Nashville, Tennessee. 3 caution flags in this race. First one came at lap 45 as we had some smoke coming out of the 11 of Mike Basham. They wanted to check to make sure there was no fluid on the track from that. That would be the end of the day for Mike Basham as he brought it behind the wall from that one. About 30 laps later, lap 72, caution was out for Michael Self hard into the outside wall in turn 2, trying to avoid the contact, I guess, between the 18 and the 10 as they got together in turn 2. Michael got a piece of that and up into the wall. Brett Holmes ended up getting a piece of Self as he came back off the wall. Holmes trying to avoid the 25. Couldn't quite do it. Got the left side really scraped up from that one. He was able to salvage his day, though. Lap 122, debris on the front stretch brought out the third and final caution of the day. 3 leaders on the day, 4 lead changes total. Leading the most laps far and above was Christian Eckes, who led a total of 120 laps. Chandler Smith led 76 laps total. He led the first 47 from the pole, relinquished the lead for 4 laps to Corey Heim after that first caution. Took the lead back, led the next 29, and then Christian Eckes took the lead and never looked back for the final 120 laps. Christian Eckes takes his first victory of the 2019 season in very impressive fashion. I think we saw a different Christian Eckes on track yesterday than what we have previously, and we talked to him a little bit about that in the post-race interview about how because of what has happened the past couple of races to him, missing Salem due to illness, and then being the first car out at Talladega, really putting himself in a points hole. I think we're seeing a different Christian Eckes right now, as he says he's more looking for wins at this point, and the points will kind of do what they will do from that. So I think we're seeing a much more aggressive Christian Eckes at this point, a much more hungry for wins Christian Eckes than we did the first couple races of the season, where it seemed like he was more racing for points. Now it's more about wins for the 15 team. Ty Gibbs came home with another second place finish in this race. He keeps knocking on the door, and eventually Ty Gibbs will get himself a win. Unfortunately, it did not come at Nashville, but if he keeps knocking off runs like that, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen multiple times. The kid's got a lot of talent, and it's a fun guy to be around, too. If you didn't see the post-race interview we did with him, it'll be linked down below in the description. It was really fun talking to him as well. It was a really cool kid. Chandler Smith in the third position, started from the pole and then faded in the mid-portions of the race after he lost the lead to Christian Eckes. Held on to second for a while, but then faded even more late and lost that second position to Ty Gibbs. Just didn't have it there at the end. He told us after the race that the right front kind of fell away, and that was really the reason that he really didn't have the handling in the car late in the race that he did early. Carson Hocevar came home with a solid 4th place finish, and Brett Holmes, even after getting caught up in that Michael Self incident at lap 72, still managed a top 5 finish and came home in 5th. Joe Graff Jr., last car in the lead lap, in 6th. Rest of your top 10, Caden Honeycutt, Travis Braden, your new points leader leaving this race after Michael Self's bad luck in the mid-portion of the race. Thad Moffitt, 9th, and Connor Okresic rounded out the top 10. Final page 11th through 20th. Corey Heim had some bad luck near the end of the race. I'm not sure if it was mechanical issues or what exactly it was, but he'd been running top 7 or so all day. He was up there around 5th, 6th, 7th most of the day, and then late in the race lost some laps and ended up 7 laps down in the 11th position. Michael Self landed in the 15th position after his accident. Lexi Gay making her ARCA Series debut out at lap 3 with suspension issues. Not the day she was looking for in her debut. 19th would be where Lexi Gay would finish for her debut. All right, so that is your results from the Music City 200. After the race, we talked to a bunch of drivers. We talked to the entire top 6, Christian Eckes, Ty Gibbs, Chandler Smith, Carson Hocevar, Brett Holmes, Joe Graff Jr., and 8th place, and your new points leader, Travis Braden. So they are all linked down below in the description if you want to check those out, get any of their thoughts from after the race. They all were great to talk to, and it's always fun to get to talk to these guys. So, on to your point standings for this week. 5 races into the season. We're now a quarter of the way into the ARCA season. It's crazy how all of a sudden this ramps up really quickly. It seemed like it took forever to get to that 3rd race of the season at Salem, and now we're 5 races into the season. We're a quarter of the way through already. Travis Braden, as we said, has reassumed the points lead now, 30 points over Michael Self. Brett Holmes stayed stationary in 3rd. Gained some points, though. 40 points back now in 3rd. Joe Graff Jr. gained a little bit as well. He's 55 back in 4th. Christian Eckes bumps his way all the way back up to 5th now. Still 120 points back, though. But that was a 60-point gain this week that he made on the lead. He came into this race 180 points back. So that is, I would say, a very solid gain for one race. And if he can keep clicking off good finishes, he's going to erase that deficit pretty quickly, I think. And you can see the rest of your top 10 here. Tommy Vi Jr., Brad Smith, your other 2 full-time drivers there in 6th and 7th. And that's your point standings following the Music City 200. Took me a second. I was like, what race was this? The Music City 200 this week from Fairgrounds Speedway Nashville. So K&N Rewind coming up here shortly. We do have at least a Derek Kraus interview lined up. That will happen later tonight, though, so that will not be on the Rewind show. It will be going up later this evening. And then we're still working on a Tanner Gray interview for him winning the first South Boston race on Saturday. So we'll keep you posted on those as to when and if those happen. And then, of course, the Derek Kraus interview will go up as quickly as it can this evening. And then Tanner Gray, if that happens, will go up this evening, tomorrow, whenever it ends up happening. So, and then a Cup Rewind probably end up being tomorrow morning, and then pole position is going to get pushed to Tuesday evening because of the Cup race being rained into today. That will be Tuesday evening this week. For 1 week only, Tuesday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern, will be your pole position for this week, catching you up on everything that happened this weekend in the world of motorsports. So if you haven't done it already, you need to go down below, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. While you're down there, why don't you hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It is much appreciated when you do. So with that, this has been the ARCA Series Rewind Show. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.